In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to work with freeform questions and Articulate QuizMaker. More specifically, I'll show you how to create this freeform drag and drop question from start to finish. I'll be using the practice file titled QuizMaker Drag Drop Demo, so please feel free to download the practice file and follow along. You'll also find the images that you'll need for the project as well. So let's head on over to QuizMaker and get started. So I'm here in QuizMaker, and perhaps the first question to answer is, well, what is a free-form question? Well, if we come up here and we select free-form question, you'll see that we've got drag and drops, pick ones, pick minis, text entries, hotspots, etc. Well, what a free-form question does, it allows you to create the slide, to design your slide, and then turn your slide into a quiz question, into a drag and drop exercise, a drag and drop question, a pick one question, a pick many question. Well, what do some of those look like? Let's take a really easy one here. Let's say, so this is a blank slide. I've inserted a blank slide here, and there's nothing here, there's nothing in the timeline. Let's insert some characters really quickly. I'm going to insert one. And I'm going to copy here a couple times here, because then right from here I can change the character to, this is really fast, I love how easy it is to insert characters into QuizMaker. 3. So I've got 3 different people here, and then I could insert a question. Maybe my question is, click the female character. And we'll make it a little easier to see. There we go. Now, there's really not a question type. If I wanted to have the learner click on one of these characters, there's not a question type here in terms of our built-in graded questions that allows me to do that. Maybe I could do a multiple choice question and put a little multiple choice selection beneath each of them, but I want the learner to be able to click on these individual people. So what I can do is right over here, when I have a blank slide, I have a convert to freeform. So I select convert to freeform, and I'm going to say pick one. I want the learner to pick one of these objects on the screen, one of these people. So I come over to form view. You'll notice now we have form view and slide view. I've turned it into a quiz question. And I can select my choices. Well, who are my choices? Now look down here to the lower right. Character 1, character 2, character 3. The correct choice is character 1. Let's preview this. And now, look at this. It's highlighted. When I select them, I'm going to select her, submit, and that is correct. So just that easy, just that fast, I've taken a slide of my design and turned it into a quiz question. It's really cool. That's the power of freeform. It gives you a lot of neat capabilities. So let's take this drag and drop question here that we were looking at right as we started off, and let's build that out. So this is a freeform drag and drop question, and I'm going to take you through step by step on this process. So step number 1 is to begin with a blank slide here. Now, my slide's not completely blank. I have gone ahead and created some of this so I can speed up the process, but feel free to pause along the way here and build along with me. So the first thing that I did is added 2 shapes here, and these are just simple rectangle shapes. You can insert those and place them as you will. Okay, so that's step number 1. Insert your shapes as backgrounds. And then what I did is I went ahead and I inserted my drag items. So I inserted my pictures here. Okay? And a good production tip, if you know you're building a drag and drop, one of the things that you can do in your timeline is you can name your objects. If you double click on an object name here, you can come in and give it a name. So I came in and gave each of mine the designation of a drag item. So all the items that I know that I want to have dragged, I added the word drag. It'll become apparent in a little bit as to why you'd want to do this. So I've got my drag items, I've got my pictures, and these are in those download files, so insert some pictures. Next, I need areas to drag them to. Those are called drop zones. So I added 3 drop zones. Once again, these are simply shapes that I added in, took out the fill, so no fill, shape outline, gave them some dashes as outlines here. Worked on the coloring a little bit, worked on the sizing, but those are my drop zones. These are the areas where I want to drag the pictures to. And so I gave those the term drop, so I renamed them with the term drop. The final items that I put in were some rectangle here to give them a name, typed in the name right onto the shape, so that I had labels as to where the learner should drag the images to. Now if I preview this, right now it's still a blank slide. I can't do anything with this. I'm clicking and dragging and nothing's happening. So what I need to do when I have a blank slide, over here on the right, you will see the term convert to freeform. I'm going to click that, and then I get to choose the type of question that I want. I'm going to choose drag and drop. So I have my question now created. It has been created. Over here on the right, you'll see form view, slide view, and if I preview this, what's going to happen? Well, nothing yet. It's still nothing's happening, but if I submit, it's going to say invalid answer. I must complete the question. Well, what I need to do as the designer is I need to let Quizmaker know what should be draggable and where should it be dragged to. To do so, I'm going to come over here to form view. In form view, this is where I get to assign items to be draggable and where they're going to be dragged to. Now watch in the lower right here, this is going to be a great visual indicator. I'm going to come into select my drag items, and this is where it really comes in handy back in the timeline to have added the word drag, especially if you have a lot of items that you're creating as draggable. So right here, you'll notice that as I hover over these in the selection pane in the lower right, they're highlighted. So drag media room, drag foyer, and drag living room. Now I need to assign them to drop targets. So I'm going to assign the media room. That's going to be droppable here. We're going to go to the drop media room zone. The foyer is going to be the drop foyer, and the drag living room is going to be the drop living room. Now I can assign multiple items to the same drop zone. So that's something to keep in mind here, that I could make all of these have to go to the same drop target. It's not a one-to-one type of situation. So keep that in mind as you're designing your drag and drop exercise. Now, just like that, we go to preview. I've assigned drag items to drop zones. Let's go preview this now. Now these items are draggable, and I can bring them over and place them in the drop zones. Submit. Did I get it correct? No, I didn't. So let's come back over here. And I can also, speaking of which, not only can I send multiple items to to the same drop target, I could say, you know what, this item doesn't have a drop target. He's just sort of an outlier there. So maybe I have 4 items. I have a 4th item that I have here, and it doesn't have a drop zone. It's a distractor in this situation. So some different ways that I can work with drag items and drop targets. Now, over here on the right, we have some options in terms of how the drag and drop exercise should work. So, when the learner drags the item, if it's dropped outside a correct drop target, should it be returned to its starting point? So if I take the media room and I drop it on the foyer, should it be returned? Boom. So this is really forcing the learner to get the answer correct. So that's an option. Do I want to reveal the items one at a time? And in what order should they be revealed? So if I choose that option, now only one of these will be revealed at a time. So those are 2 quick options. How do I want the items to be dropped onto the target? Okay, so let's say I do want multiple items on the same drop zone. Should they be stacked random, snap to center? So let's say we stack random. Let's preview this, and we'll take multiple items and drop it in the same area. So this is stacked random, so you see that they are randomly stacked there. Versus, let's tile them. What happens if we tile them? And bring them all here. 1, 2, 3. They get tiled. So there's different ways that we can work with this, and you'd want to play with this a little bit. If you've got drop zones that are close, you'd want to decide how they should be stacked so they don't cover up other drop zones. Maybe we just go with free. Free means that I can take these and place them anywhere on the target all by myself. So those are some quick ways to work with that drag and drop and each of these options here. So back over on slide view, we have shuffle. Okay, we have feedback by question, by the scoring by the question in this case, and the number of attempts that they get. But let's focus on shuffling. Shuffling is really great because we can actually shuffle the drag and drop answers in terms of where their starting place is. So I'm going to select answers, and let's go preview this. You'll notice now that the living room is on top, where before the media room. Let's replay this. Let's shuffle it again. So the answers can be randomly assigned and shuffled within here. So really cool. So creating a drag and drop question from Freeform or from scratch from a blank slide is really super easy. It's really that fast. All I have to do is add my items, select convert to Freeform, come into the form view, assign drag items to drop targets, work with my options over here in terms of how I want the behavior to work, and boom, we are ready and set to go. Now, at any point in time, you decide, well, I want my blank slide back. Can I start over? Absolutely. Yes, you can. All you have to do is come up here, say remove freeform, and now it's going to say, are you sure? Because if I select OK, it's going to send me back to the blank slide once again. But kind of cool. I can start over. I can say convert to freeform. Now let's do just a pick one. The learner needs to pick what? One of these choices that I'm going to put in here, just like we did before with the individuals. Maybe it's my pictures this time. And so maybe the foyer is the correct answer. Now let's preview this. Look at that. Now it's pick one. So I can take a blank slide and I can turn it into multiple question types using convert to freeform. And that is the beauty of using the freeform question tool in Quizmaker. Now, there's certainly a lot more to explore when it comes to free-form questions, and I really want to encourage you to do that because they are a lot of fun. Take a look at the pick minis and the hotspots and the text entries. There's a lot of creative things that you can do using free-form questions in Quizmaker. If you'd like some more ideas, or if you have any questions regarding free-form questions in Quizmaker, please join us in the eLearning Heroes community. Stop on by the forums, ask your questions, get some downloads, check out the ideas that other users and the staff provide, because I think you're really going to enjoy working with this aspect of Quizmaker. And hey, we are here to help you out. So once again, stop by the eLearning Heroes community and we will do our best to help you out.